The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces being led by members of Foxhound. They are demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You will have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the President of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound, your former unit, and one that I was the commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mantis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As always, this is a one-man sneaking mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP.
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Hello everyone and welcome to Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. You notice it says HD edition only because I'm using a HD textures pack called the HD Rex Texture Project, which it's a pretty old project and it wasn't ever like fully complete. I think only like the first area was redone with HD textures. So not everything is really HD, but we'll be able to see a little bit at least. So this is one of my favorite games back on the GameCube. This is a remake of the PlayStation 1 version of this game, which was a big hit. I never actually played the PlayStation 1 version, so I thought I'd start with the Twin Snakes, the one that I am familiar with, that I've played through quite a number of times. Now I picked this game up at, I want to say, some game store. I wasn't sure if it was GameStop or maybe Toys R Us, for like $8 or something. And at this point, you can sell it for much higher than that. So, yeah, it's a pretty good game. Some people do not like it because of the music, the cutscenes, and a variety of other things in it. So, this is a GameCube game. We have it run with the Dolphin emulator, HD textures, and I have the widescreen hack on, so well, not widescreen hack, widescreen gecko code, so it makes it in widescreen, so it's actually going to look pretty nice. So we are going to start a new game, but we are going to look at a little bit of the briefing first. It's a little bit of a briefing that we can get to understand some of the backstory a bit more as to what our actual mission objective is here with Snake. We will watch probably about half of it first, and then we'll finish it up at the end. We'll watch the other half. Let's see our options that we have here. We have rumble, different types of radar. We definitely want the blood on, absolutely. We have subtitles on, which is good. First person view, this is something else that has been added to this Twin Snakes version. In the original one, you could not go into first person view. You also did not have the M9, which is a tranquilizing gun. So that is in this version. So there's a variety of other things as well. This is a pretty dark game, so it may seem a little dark. Special, wait, I didn't actually click onto that, hang on a minute. Special I think we will cover later. But we can take a quick look now. We can view the dog tags, the photo album, something secret there. Previous operations, which we will look at another time. This gives us a backstory as to the original games for the, I forget what system it was, but it's Metal Gear. It's not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear, like 1, 2. Was there a third? I don't think there was a third one. I think it was just 1 and 2. And then we have something else there, so we will take a look at that stuff later, but let's go ahead and hop on into the briefing first. Watch a few sections of this, and then we'll hop into the new game and continue with our mission.
It's been a long time, Snake.
I should have known you were behind this, Colonel.
Snake, straight to the point as always.
We can also control the camera here.
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you, but we've got a serious situation here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
You will take these orders. I know it.
Excuse me.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter, the unit's chief medic, an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't hurt a bit.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
Snake, listen up. About 5 hours ago, an island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago called Shadow Moses Island was occupied by Special Ops soldiers.
What soldiers?
Next Generation Special Forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You have two objectives. First, infiltrate the nuclear weapons disposal facility and rescue the two hostages. They are DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and Kenneth Baker, President of ArmsTech.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike and stop them if they do. Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
Alright, so there's our bit of introduction here, and they're separated into multiple categories, the briefing. Once you play through the first one, or you can skip it as well, you get access to the menu here. So we watched the mission description. So we learned a little bit about what our mission objective is here. We have to rescue the hostages, and we also have to take down Foxhound, which is this group that is has demands from the U.S. government, or they will launch a nuclear weapon, and they're in Alaska. So let's take a look at what our infiltration method is before we actually go on in here, because we gotta infiltrate here. This is a sneaking game after all.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon disposal facility.
The disposal facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So, someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As always, this is a one-man sneaking mission.
Weapons and Equipment OSP.
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
So a little bit of the dialogue there is in the opening cutscene, but this one elaborates a bit more on it as well. Let's see what our time limit is.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
Do they say what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the target.
When did the countdown start?
5 hours ago.
So we only have 19 hours to complete this. Technically, there's an unlimited time limit in the game. You could take longer than that. It's not that type of time limit thing. Alright, so now we'll just take a look at the operation members. This is a brief description of all of the members, and then we will do the last category after we play. So let's see who the person in charge of the operation is. Smoking.
Colonel, who are you speaking for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
So there's a lot of crap hitting fans in the White House basement.
No. At this point, they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet. The Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry. Yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes, and so is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
She'd been waiting for a while to do that. If you could tell, she was inching over every time he was putting it close to his to his head. Okay, support crew.
We need backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know. That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko. She'll be providing you backup by codec.
A female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor for the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
Her home in Los Angeles.
California? California's a lot different than this place.
We're getting a bit of a background now as to the people who are going to help us during this mission. Roy Campbell. This is also a major guy. He's the guy who's talking.
Colonel, you're retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy liar. Tell me the real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is being held hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
So we're getting some different story here now. He has his own personal connection with someone who is in here, Meryl. Let's find out a little bit more about her.
What was your niece doing there?
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt, and my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War, and since then I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm just an old man now. And I'm your friend.
Since when are we friends?
I've thought of us as friends since the fall of Zanzibar land.
Haven't you had enough of a moody bastard like me?
No. That's the part of you I trust. Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have two conditions.
Name them.
1. No more secrets between us. I want complete disclosure at all times. And 2, I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing.
What?
I'm not a colonel anymore. Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand, Colonel.
So I gotta call him Colonel. So yeah, they go back quite a bit. And he mentioned Zanzibar land. That is in the first two games. That is mentioned there. So you know, this is technically the first more modern game. I have never played the original ones, but there is a bit of a backstory in here which we will look at another time. It kind of summarizes the events of those games. Alright, Dr. Naomi. I think we know who this is as well. Cigarette taker. Stole our cigarette.
That doctor, is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
So, she's used to seeing men naked.
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse, I am a scientist.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of nanomachines and an anti-freezing peptide so that your blood and other bodily fluids don't freeze, even at subarctic temperatures.
Nanomachines?
Not just one kind either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
Now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics, a class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter, huh? Anything else?
Yes. It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
A lot of stuff in there. This is definitely a futuristic type of thing, because we don't have that sort of technology now. Alright, so that concludes the first 3 sections here. So we're gonna... If you exit before you watch them all, you get a different cutscene, so hopefully I'll be able to show them all off. If I exit here, we will get a little bit more of a briefing, like he didn't accept it, and then if you actually listen to all of the files, you get a little cutscene that says that he pretty much did accept it or something. It's a different meaning, but it is a different cutscene that you get depending on when you exit. So there will be one more here as well.
Colonel, I'm off duty now. Let me go back to Twin Lakes.
Why, Snake? Is your life in Alaska all that great?
There's a dog sled race this week. Next Saturday I have to be in Anchorage.
The Iditarod, the longest sled race in the world. When did you become a dog musher?
Right now, my 50 huskies are my only family. I've got to take care of them.
Don't worry about your dogs.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Snake, but this vessel is headed for the Bering Sea. There's no room for debate.
I told you, even if I do owe you, I don't owe anything to this army or this country.
You will accept this assignment.
Why should I be stupid enough to do that? I'm no patriot.
You're being indicted by the military. You committed a whole lot of crimes of treachery during your days as an agent.
Oh, I see. Blackmail.
No, Snake. It's just a little scheme the brass thought up. But anyway, I know you. You'd take this assignment even without any threat.
What's that supposed to mean?
You are a natural-born soldier. You can't live a normal life in peace. It's the same for all of us who've seen real action. The only place we can feel truly alive is on the battlefield. I'm a soldier too. I know those feelings of powerlessness, frustration that you feel every day. You've tried to play the Boy Scout out there in Alaska, but you can't race dogs in the snow forever. Why don't you come back to us and be a soldier again?
You think my life is some kind of a joke?
Snake, I just want to give you back your purpose in life.
Alright, so he was a bit reluctant to actually accept the mission, but he's pretty much forced to do it. So let's go ahead and hop on in here. If we saw the opening cutscene there, he was going in on a torpedo and pretty much going to this island by a sub. So, yep, let's go ahead and hop on in to see. We're going to play on normal. We can choose different difficulties. I believe you unlock even harder difficulties as you go along. Type 2 radar, we can see different types of radar. Radar for novices, displayed during intrusion mode 2. Standard radar, not displayed during intrusion mode. We will be sticking with that one, or just turn it off entirely. That's a bit too much. All right, here we go.
Stay alert. He'll be through here. I know it. I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
And we have arrived. Now we're going to go into a codec call. So using the little particles, we can talk to our fellow members here of our team.
Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the pause button and then the A button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the pause button and then the A button to receive the call. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Alright. Cargo dock, here we go. So just as the Colonel said, if we do this, we can go into codec mode. And we have a certain preset channels. Colonel Campbell's the only one that we have, but you can also, you know, choose other one as well. We can tune to different ones, but as we go along, we will just certainly see other people as well. So we have a radar up in the top right. We got our life meter. We got equipment here. We don't really have anything yet. And we have a little bit here. We have a scope, which allows us to zoom in and close in on enemies and see them from a distance. As well as SIGs, highly addictive and hazardous to your health. Snake's favorite brand. When you smoke it, it lowers your health. You just sit there and smoke it, essentially. Let's go down in the water. Got some items down here. We got a ration, which heals us. Let me go back up and replenish my oxygen. Actually, I didn't even replenish it, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, we got something else here, too. We got the AP sensor. I believe if our oxygen goes down, we just start to lose health until we die, so pretty much how it works. And we can kind of sneak around here. We can go along the side here. Oh, actually, I fell down. Hang on, let me go back up. We can knock to lure the guards. If you can kind of sneak around. Colonel, I'm sneaking. Sneaking. We can also, I don't know if I probably can't do it right here. But that's kind of how the guards can sense us here. I want to kind of avoid the guard here. We can quick equip items just by tapping the button here. Let's see what the new item that we got was. Well, we got a ration, which will heal us, meal ready to eat. This is the healing items of this game. The AP sensor. Rumbles on enemy approach. All the rumbles will be off. Okay. So, I'm not going to worry too much about that. But anyway, when we go down here, we will not have access to the radar, as you can see. We will not be able to see. Oh gosh, he spotted me. He spotted me. Is there a way for him to come over here? we want to sneak around as much as possible. Okay, now we have the elevator coming down, which is honestly not good because I have to try to get a maneuver throughout this and try to get around these guys. Okay.
Snake, you can climb onto anything up to about waist height by pressing the action button. This might come in handy.
Oh, I am well aware, Colonel. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so let's try to sneak around now. Okay, there's some enemies up there. Let's see what we can do. Got some enemies there. Got a ration here we can pick up. Ideally, I just need to try to sneak around these guys because there is an item that I want. Okay. Now we can kill all the enemies as well. But I need to get up in the top left. There is an item up there that I want to get. I don't know if these guys will really let me through. I may need to... Let's see. We want to also tiptoe as well. Alright, this guy... Oh gosh. This guy might right over to the right might be coming back. Now, ideally, you don't want to be spotted, obviously. Oh gosh, they're cornering in. Okay. You are not going to call for backup, sir. Alright, he called for backup already. When they call for backup, a bunch of enemies are going to come here and try to shoot you down. Okay. Colonel, what do you have to say to this?
If you see an approximately waist-high railing, stand close and press the...
Oh, okay, here we go.
You will climb over the railing and hang down from the other side.
So what he's talking about here, we can go like this, and we have a grip level. We can increase our grip level if we do sit up, not a sit-ups. What do you call it? Oh, pull-ups. Yeah. Okay. So they are stunned. Oh, and that guy in the bottom left. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's I need to get up in the top left locker. But now they're... I don't even know how he saw me there. Trust me, I am not that bad at this. It's just because the guy in the elevator came down first. Okay. Gonna need a heal. Okay, good. Hopefully that'll put an end to these fools. Okay, so what we can get in here is an M9, which will put them to sleep. Tranquilizer gun. This is actually the earliest point you can actually get it. Look at that pose. That pose is incredible. If I was a little bit closer to him, I could have said freeze. Yeah, I don't think it'll work with that guy. Okay. Alright, well, we would do a little better in the next year. But I just wanted to show off everything I can do here. Okay, so once we have these guys here, we can actually... What's the button to do that? There we go. We can pick them up and put them down, and they will drop items for us. Well, there's no one here at this point. Okay, good. Excellent. All right, so we're gonna head up the elevator now. Let me see if there's anything else around here. Let's see. I think there should be something. Is it under here, or is it? It might be over this side. There we go. Another ration. We definitely need those after our careless attempt in here. Anyway, let's go ahead up the elevator and see the opening scene.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
That took a long time. I guess you're feeling a little rusty.
Don't worry.
I think that dialogue may change as well, depending on what we do, how long we take.
Working out.
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy. I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
A Hind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
That's the classic Snake line right there.
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, he must be crazy to fly Hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
What's this? I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake? But I'm surprised. I didn't think you'd be so frank.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
It does, doesn't it? Well, let's get to know each other better. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system. The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The Genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to...
I had my doubts about what she just said there, but...
And look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake. We're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to save your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
That is true, you never know. They actually do have a use at one point.
Get in. There's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
Yeah, I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in.
What about the air duct near the door?
One sentry on the left, and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Alright, here we are on the helipad. So, as we walk here on the snow, we will leave footprints behind, and enemies can find us if they see our footprints before they fade away. We got enemies over there in the distance, but with this version of the game, you can essentially just go into first person and shoot them. Now, if you shoot them in the head or the groin, they will go down immediately. Otherwise, they will take a little bit to go down. Let's see, we have an item right in the center here. Let's see if I can... I don't know if I can get it. Let's see. I think we can also take off these lights as well. It's kind of far. Oh! Up in the top right there, we can see where it actually went. Alright. See if I can get this. No, I could not get it. Should not have even attempted to. Oh, and look at these fools, just immediately. Immediately. Darn fools immediately doing this here. There we go. He's asleep. Now this other guy here has a shield. Let's see. Anything else? No, we just have the chaff grenade. Okay. He's not going to give up, is he? He's just kind of standing there without a care. Okay, hang on. We gotta get around his shield. Yeah, we are out of ammo now. Same. There we go. Okay, so what we can actually do here. Gotta pick these guys up again. There we go. All right. I want to first see what items that they have, and then I can just throw them right off the edge here. There we go. Sometimes it's just even fun just to mess around like that for a while. It really is. You can just have great fun just messing with the guards in an area for a while. I know that there is a spot we can throw these suckers off. Let me see where it is. Oh, here it is, right here. There we go. We don't have to worry about that guy anymore. Same with this fool right here. We definitely need to get some more ammo, get us some other things that we need as well. There we go. But we did get some nice items out of it, despite losing our ammo. There we go. Oh, there's another guy who showed up. See, look. That's the guy who actually woke up. Okay. But what I need to do is get over to the left area. There's a guard over there as well. We don't have any ammo anymore, so we gotta approach this carefully. We don't want to be caught by that again, so maybe a different route would be a little better. But yeah, remember, the first game didn't have those types of things. Which you can do. I don't want the guy on the left there to find me. Let's see. He saw the footprints. We can lure him over this way. There he goes. No, that wasn't a snake. So if we go up behind him and we can choke him out, essentially. So he is now dead. He will not be around anymore. Another guy over here patrolling. I saw that. Where is this guy? There he is. Okay, so we got another weapon here. This is the SOCOM. This is just a standard handgun. This is not going to put them to sleep. But, as you can see, you can attach a suppressor. So right now, it's going to be too loud for us to really do anything with. What we need to do is knock this guy out here. But there's a camera over to the left. We got to be careful of the camera. There we go. Now we can essentially just go through this without killing any enemies at all. That is a possibility, and I have done those things before as well. So what we have in here, we have a camera in here. Let me, you can see it on our map there.
A surveillance camera.
We gotta be careful here that we're not spotted. You can just let it go like that, or we also have another item here, a grenade that temporarily neutralizes electronic devices. We can essentially just throw this, and now the camera is no longer operational. Yeah, we got a stun grenade. Yeah, we made it back just in time. Great. Now we can also destroy the cameras with our SOCOM, but we would not be able to destroy it with our M9 or tranquilizer gun. Okay, so sometimes, like, I guess well, I guess if I go down, it'll show me the camera there, but we can kind of see where that camera was, but not much. Wait a minute. Guy's not gonna look down the steps, is he? Hopefully he doesn't spot me. I'm just kind of like laying on the steps right now. Okay, let me wait for him to go up. Okay, great. There we go. I feel like that is pretty much everything here.
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not going to believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon.
Alright. The pressure's now on more than ever. Let's go ahead and head on into the hangar. It's very dark in this ventilation system. We can see a little bit. So when the codec goes red, that is a mandatory call.
McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a boot camp instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you. So call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
As you can see, we now have multiple characters we can call. But we would do that later. We would check that out later. Let's go through this ventilation system. Anything going on over there? Alright.
I moved the DARPA chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
Oh, they just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
Did something happen?
There's an intruder.
Really?
He's already done 3 people.
He's killed 3 people?
Yeah, and they say he's using stealth, too.
Stealth? There's an intruder besides me?
Anyway, I want you to increase the security detail on the chief.
There appears to be another intruder here, besides us. Who could that be? You can see a little bit out here, but not really too much. The lockers. It's so darn dark in this ventilation system. There it is.
Press the action button to drop down.
Thank you, Colonel. That was actually really helpful.
Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Oh, we definitely will. Alright, so there's gonna be a lot of sneaking involved here. We have cameras all over the place. We have to try to dodge and avoid. We gotta be careful here also. I see something over in the corner that I want to get to. Okay, let's run for it. Go back, thermal goggles. Let's take a look at what we can do with these. So, our thermal goggles, obviously, we can see the heat signature, so we can actually see where the enemies are. We can actually, let's put them on. I think there's a guy down there, there's a guy down there. Fortunately, they cannot see us up here, but we had to be also quiet here as we're walking across because they could hear us. As he just heard us.
Was there a noise just then?
Yes, there was. There was indeed.
What was that sound?
Yeah, what was that sound? Look at them both go. Look at them both go. We gotta be careful of that camera. There. We don't even have to go down the steps. Technically, we can just jump off the edge. But I was just curious to see what they would do. Okay. They're kind of funny. They're kind of funny. All right. We can also drop down on them as well. So if we hang off and we're right above them, we can technically just fall right down on top of them. Okay, let's go under the tank. There might be some stuff under here. No, I think it's the other tank. There's something under. We gotta be careful because we also do not have radar under here. So we gotta kind of use our best judgment as to when the other guy is going to be there or not. We can try to take this guy out. Now, I believe when they're dead, they will not drop any items. Yeah. So that is kind of the downside. If you kill them, they will not drop any items for you. Huh? But something else we can do. Let me just see if I can show it. Also, if we can sneak up behind them, we can do a hold up. Oh, I was kind of thinking he was going to do that to me. And he's not. Once he's in an alert, he's not going to do that. If you sneak up behind him, you can do a hold up. Oh gosh, here comes the backup unit too. Alright, that's a hide until all of this is situated, until our elevator comes. Oh, I think the elevator just came too. So they're going to spot the bodies. Let's see what happens.
We have a man down. Increase to maximum security.
Send a replacement guard for the area.
Understood. Reinforcements are on the way to the first floor of the tank hangar. Exercise extreme caution.
But they're not very good at investigating because they will never look under here.
We have a man down. Increase to maximum security.
Send a replacement guard for the area.
Understood. Reinforcements are on the way to the first floor of the tank hangar. Exercise extreme caution.
There we go. There he is right there. They will not see us though. Let's just wait for our caution to be up, and then we should be good and get on the elevator. Alright. Be careful. You don't have to use any force at all, essentially. One. Okay, let's go. There you go. Perfect. Fortunately, they did not see us. Okay, so now we're down in the holding cells, and this should be where the hostage that we're looking for is. Up, there he is on the map. Big old green dot.
Look at the radar! It's picking up the DARPA chief! He's the green dot! Hurry and rescue him!
We're just gonna walk right on in there and just rescue him, I would imagine. That would probably be the best thing to do. Just, you know, just stroll right on in. What now, Colonel?
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder. Approach the ladder and press the action button to climb it.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm actually going to go through the ventilation shaft first. If there's anything else in here. I'm sure I missed stuff in the other room as well. I think there was probably ammo in there, but I did miss it. That's when I wanted to get out of there. But let me see if there's anything down this way. We probably will be back to that area. Anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, we can just see into this office here, this amazing office with the chair. That was it. So slow crawling through these vents. You would think he'll be a little quicker, but no, he's not. He's incredibly slow. Alright, so we're heading into this duct system now. To try to rescue the DARPA chief. Okay. This one is a little brighter. Not much, but we're gonna head to the left here.
Kinda damn cold. I hate Alaska. Boy, oh boy. That woman is built all right.
You know, just taking a pee, listening in on his conversation is just taking a pee. All right, we have some M9 ammo. We definitely need that. This is, I believe, where you would also find the M9 gun if you haven't picked it up already. Wherever you pick up ammo for it, I guess you'll be able to find the gun. Just like also under the tank in the previous room, in addition to where we got the SOCOM in the very not the first area, the second one before we entered the first duct. There was another vehicle there, so I could have picked up ammo there. I wasn't even thinking about it. Metal but solid.
A woman. Not him.
How slow he is going up there. He's so darn slow going through his vents. Not him. Oh, it could be a him, Snake. It could be. Let me take a look. Yeah, she's just working out. You can kind of watch her for a bit. See what she does. Stretching. See, Snake is just so shy of girls that he just has to leave now. I mean, he can't even continue with his mission. He's just gonna leave. He's just done. Colonel, I'm ending this mission because there's this girl in here and she's just too hot for me to pass. So I'm just gonna leave now. I've left. And I'm gonna leave this mission now. I don't care if we give in to the terrorist demands. Anyway, there was a reason I did that. Let's go back on in there. Okay. Find our bearing. Where are we? Okay. All right, Snake. You have to face your women shyness. I know how shy you are with women. But you gotta face it, buddy. You gotta face it. Oh. Yep. There she is. If you go out and come back in, she will have less clothes on. We can just watch her for a bit. We can just kind of creep on her. We can just kind of creep on her a bit. Colonel, I need a better position to see her. There we go. See, you can see a little more. That all she's going to do. I think we can like watch her like full routine even. Actually, I think every time we go out and come back in, she'll be doing a different exercise. So right now, this is pretty much what she's doing. We can't really see too much of her, but she'll be doing other exercises, I think, like push-ups and stuff like that. But that's essentially what I wanted to show off there, too.
Huh?
Who's that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent in here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
Oh, she put her clothes back on.
Plan to launch. I thought this place was just for the keeping of dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
That's the official story. Got it. We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A truly historical weapon.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard that the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between Armstech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data, and then proceed to mass production. If it hadn't been for the revolution.
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex, the code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping nuclear weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
Shut up in there, will you? Amazing line. I love that. I think that's the same guard that was taking a pee, too. No, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. I don't know.
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL. Yes, of course. There is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes. Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of Armstech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But... they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes. They'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by Armstech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that...
Yes, you can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the card keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him into an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes. They cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical field.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as a transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So, does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon. What is it?
Huh? What's that? Hey, what happened?
Huh. Dead. Naomi, the chief, what happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No!
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Absolutely not, Snake. You've got to understand. This counter-terrorist op is security level red. You'll need the highest security clearance to learn the real story.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you. The Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
I think the Colonel knows some more than what he's letting on to believe here. What the heck happened to the DARPA chief here? He just suddenly died. We got something going on out here. If there's an item we can get under the bed. Yeah, here we go, ration.
Move! So you killed the chief, you bastard! Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move!
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful. I'm no rookie.
Liar. Your eyes wander. There's no confidence in them. The eyes of a rookie. You've never shot a person, have you?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie!
You're not one of them, are you?
Open that door. You got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed. What are you doing? Don't think! Shoot!
Here we go, now it's time to defeat these guards. They're all coming in at us. Alright, we have our SOCOM here. I think putting them to sleep is not going to do anything. We have to be tough here. And there will be more of that come in as well.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie!
Oh, you are a rookie.
Shoot!
As we just see a naked man in the corner there. Oh good, they're dropping ammo, rations. Just keep refilling on rations, right? There you go. Oh, we gotta reload. I'm not sure what the button is to reload. Oh, look, I think I shot the radio out from him. Oh, that's how you reload. You have to unequip and re-equip the weapon.
Thanks for the help.
Wait!
That butt, though.
Who are you? You fool! You've killed him! I'm sorry, sir.
His mental shielding was very strong. I could not dive into his mind.
Now we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea.
Looks like the DARPA chief was already dead.
Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So, that was Mantis.
We saw a little bit of Psycho Mantis' powers there. He's a very bizarre individual. Oops. Definitely did not want to do that, what I actually wanted to do. Like, because we can just get right up in that. We can see the face a little bit too. Let's get like right up on in there. Alright, Snake is Snake. That's just disgusting. So yeah, it's just all blurred out. Even the reflection is blurred out too. Interesting. But it's not actually dead, as you can see. He's just kind of stunned. We can't do anything with that guy. Alright, so she wasn't holding anything in there. So a lot of stuff happened there. We saw Psycho Mantis, and we saw the woman there, and we also saw... There's nothing else I can do here either. Wait, oh, actually, there's something else in here. And we saw the DARPA chief, which was pretty much... He was pretty much already dead. M9 bullets, and a book, which is actually really good. The DARPA chief was already dead, it is what it appeared like. They already killed him, but who's this guy then? If the DARPA chief was already dead, who the heck was this guy? Well, I guess we'll find out next time. So, I think that is where I'm going to leave this here, and we can actually call up our good old friends here. We're going to talk to Mei Ling. She's the one who's going to say. Let's actually see what Campbell and our master has to say here first.
Snake, Psycho Mantis has the power to read people's minds. He got the DARPA chief's detonation code. Hurry up or he'll get Baker's code too.
That's right. If the terrorists get Baker's code, they'll be able to launch that nuke anytime they want.
Yeah, they'll use Metal Gear to do it. Colonel, did you know they were conducting a military exercise here using Metal Gear?
I didn't know.
Really?
Snake, you've got to understand. I'm just the middleman in this operation. Anyway, hurry up and get to the second floor basement. You've got to save the Arms Tech president before the terrorists find out his code.
I think Colonel knows a bit more than what he's actually saying here. I think he's hiding a lot of information from us.
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
Yeah, that was a real helpful, wasn't it? Alright, time to save.
What can I do for you, Snake?
We want to save it, thank you. First time actually saving. New file. Yes, here we go. Perfect.
Snake, remember what de Gaulle said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all alone and surrounded by bad guys. Try to be careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow, you know all sorts of great quotes, don't you?
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China, but I was born and raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it.
So every time you call her up and say, I don't even know if you have to save, but she will give you some new information regarding that. So I don't think there's any way for me to actually quit out of this, so what I want to do, I want to get back to the title screen without restarting it, because I believe that also restarts, we're just going to smoke until we die. I don't think we actually can die, though. Yeah, Snake. Smoke right next to this. Yes. Yeah, I think if I were to exit out of the game, open it back up, all of the briefings that we already watched would be... We would have to technically watch them again. I just want to show off the ending ones. Let me see if I can go back up to the first floor. That is where the enemies were before. Die, and go back to the title screen. Then you can see the amazing title. I mean, the amazing death. Amazing death, yes. Snake, it's time for you to die. Let's see if there's anything else around here first. Oh, actually, look, there's actually different rooms here.
Who's that?
That's right, go ahead and kill us. Oh, SOCOM suppressor. We will definitely get that next time, but first kill us. We must die as we're smoking. That's right. Dead.
Snake, answer me! Snake!
Snake! That's the classic. Snake! Go ahead and exit out. Alright, so we should be able to check out the remainder of the briefings. Oh, maybe not, because I did go all the way back there. Let's see. No, okay, so we'll have to say that probably for next time then. Let me just see how much it actually shows here. Okay, never mind. It actually did just say everything. Okay, good. So we'll be able to finish up these briefings, and then that's where we'll call it. And then next time we will actually get back into this here and check out the other documentation. But there's a few things more we can learn about the soldiers here and the people that we're fighting against, as you can see, and the hostages, as we just ended up losing one. He was dead.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an arms manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they testing some kind of new advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
And we did. We did, and he died. Doesn't give us that information. Nuclear weapons.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Was the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so. At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL?
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapon systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
Because the DARPA chief knows the detonation code.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you can pay the money.
Not sure what Naomi was doing back there. She was, like, checking out her legs. Maybe she was checking to make sure that she shaved them. Alright.
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 in charge are plenty tough. After all, they're Foxhound people.
Hey, you're gonna make me blush.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
These are some really tough soldiers, despite the fact, even though I was not sneaking around too well, sometimes they would be pretty darn dumb.
So what exactly are they demanding?
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genetic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Genes? Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project. They've been mapping the human genome and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes, and using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, it becomes easy to remove genes that cause sickness and disease, or, alternatively, to splice in additional genetic material.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay, and so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genetic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
So, we got a big backstory there of what the actual plan is here. So we have these soldiers who are going through gene therapy, pretty much genetic modification, and they're having their characteristics enhanced, and they want the remains of this super powerful soldier to enhance their own abilities. So that's really interesting because, especially when you consider what's going on in the world today, that is certainly becoming more of the main topic. Like right now, that's happening with plants. Certain plants are being genetically modified. So happening to people is a very slow thing that is starting to happen here. So it's really interesting because that brings up the whole idea of the term like designer babies, where you could essentially have a baby and then give it the genetically modify it in a way so you could have the desirable characteristics of that baby. There's a lot of concern about that. A lot of people are for and against that, but it is a really interesting concept, and that's kind of what this is touching on here with the soldiers. So let's talk a little bit about genetic strengthening.
One of the greatest soldiers ever.
The man they called the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss?
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryochamber. His genetic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
Oh, heck, it's like some kind of dinosaur theme park. And you're gonna put these genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't hand over his body. It's more strategically important than any weapon of mass destruction.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss.
Big Boss, so that is a character that we will certainly hear much more about. Maybe not necessarily so much in this game, but certainly other Metal Gear Solid games. So, they won his body because he was an excellent soldier, so really interesting here.
Tell me about these next-generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units, technical escort units, and the nuclear emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer Heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit Force 21 and retrained. If you ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real battle experience.
Soldiers of the video game generation, huh?
Don't forget, they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I thought international law banned the military use of genetic therapy.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
The interesting thing is that nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
Kinda ended a bit abruptly there.
How can an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The sons of Big Boss. But if they were regular army, they must have been interviewed periodically by army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No. Several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that, even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We had been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
Right, Unit Foxhound. This looks like it's going to be the last one.
High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound, your former unit, and one that I was the commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mantis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter.
Sounds like a bunch of cartoon characters.
And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound Squad Leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
Interesting. Liquid Snake. So we're Solid Snake. So who is this Liquid Snake character? We're gonna find. Oh, it looks like this is gonna be the final one. We're gonna find a little bit more about him. It looks like now.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man who shares your code name. The Solid versus the Liquid.
Tell me what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS. His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
But he never once showed his face in Century House. He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
I don't know his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's a photo of him. Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise, you two are exact duplicates.
I have a twin?
I don't know the details, but it seems so. That's why we really need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
Now you know where the game gets its name, the Twin Snakes. There's two of us, essentially. There we go. So we should, at this point, when we exit, we should get the other cutscene when he's willing to actually do this. If not, I have it up here and I can show it to you. It's just a really, really short scene.
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry. Just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
So that's pretty much it there. So he's willing to go at that point, and he's cutting his hair so he doesn't look like Liquid. So maybe we would know a bit more about him later, because we kind of already saw him. Someone with the long hair just like that, if he looks just like us, is someone who's very similar to us that we've already seen. So we will know a bit more next time. So hopefully you've enjoyed this first part. Next time we will just hop right into the game, and then at the end we will take a look at one of the special files at the end, and then we'll do the same after that, and then that'll actually be all the special files. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed, hope this was fun and entertaining, and I will catch you later. Bye bye now.